there is only one way that people can start thinking about changing their ways of thinking, their habits, their ways of living, their economies, if they allow a cultural communication. That's why I think culture, philosophy, reading, education, art, architecture, all these fields will just have an enormous impact on our lives and on our societies.
It's in an old, now sort of derelict and run-down industrial area, which is very centrally located in Stockholm, just close to the water.
Fargfabriken is a building which includes a lot of various interests as art, architecture, urban planning connected into the society.
And it's also a kind of a multi-purpose space. There's an excellent restaurant and there's also special events here, dances like going on all night. So actually some people I meet know about Färgfabriken. They've been here dancing all night and I say I do exhibitions and they go, oh, you do exhibitions? I thought it was a place to go party. So it has many faces, I'd say.
It has a lot of activity at the moment with artists and other creatives working in different studios. It's always been interesting to use Lövholmen as this space for imagining the future and how could the city be planned and built.
This brilliant house now was, I would say, ruined. It was growing trees inside of the main hall.
Even the roof was so trashed and there was no heating or water or anything.
And the first time I said, wow, of course, this is an incredible character with this low facade on one end, this deep cut, the topography and how this building is meeting the water.
There was still a lot of production going on. The paint factory was still going, etc. And we still have a cement factory here. So once in a while a big boat passes with sand and sort of material for the cement factory, which is quite unusual in central Stockholm.
I was approached by Alkrobäckers, a paint factory, and they told me, we have this old building in Liljeholmen, couldn't we do something nice with artists and architects? And I thought to myself, either this becomes something really corny, silly, you know, you force architects and artists together and you have this kind of little artist-architect village, or it becomes something unique.
Here in Stockholm it was quite a difficult situation because there was very few institutions working with contemporary art. So we come here in a kind of vacuum because it was our dream. We was discussing many years to starting a new type of cultural institution in Stockholm, which is not a museum, not a gallery, not a traditional Kunsthalle or something else. A meeting point for expressions and for talks and discussion.
I know that in the art world of Stockholm, some people have difficulties with Färgfabriken because they do very different exhibitions, very different types of exhibitions.
And we are what might say a kind of alternative think tank for people who have ideas that not find the spots on various places. They knew always can come to Färgfabriken and experiment.
I think quite regularly we do these bigger projects where we gather many actors within urban planning, architecture, creative thinking in general, and makes bigger projects, so, which means that they are both exhibition projects but also huge public program projects.
As you see, Färgfabriken is a small place where a lot of fences are around us, but still we have an impact and a part as a culture institution in the surrounding areas and also in the region of Stockholm and so on. During the last 10 years we've been working very much abroad as well with projects in various parts of the world. We have worked very much internationally, so that is also part of our community.
This method, Färgfabriksmetoden, the first time we was using these expressions was 2001, 2002 when we do this project called Stockholm at Large. Stockholm at Large is about the development of Stockholm. Because the development at that time was very slow and everybody was blaming each other. The politicians, the construction company, the architects, the environmentalists. So we said, okay, let's bring them together in a more kind of funny, interesting and creative way. But first of all, to create trust. And this method is based on that you don't need to agree of something, but you need to talk to each other. You need to respect each other. That's exactly the same we do also with this new urban topology project, where we do the same method but internationally.
And as far as what is the impact, I mean, it's really hard to tell. Actually, it's like, what is the impact of this exhibition or this book, or how did it change the world? It's very hard to sort of quantify. I mean, we did have this exhibition about infrastructure and housing and sort of creating this together. And at that time, this discussion was just starting, so I think it was a piece of the puzzle that eventually led to Stockholm deciding to start building the subway again. What could be learned? What are the lessons from Färgfabriken? And I think one is that somebody wants to have art or culture. The owner family of the paint factory decided not to sell this old building and instead keep it as an art institution. So somebody has to have this will to do something else, but to maximize profits.
We know in the cultural world that everything is actually quite fragile. It always has been. And the engagement of Lindengruppen is extraordinarily important.
And they are supporting us a lot. We are paying very low rent.
Even if people haven't been to Färgfabriken, they know about it because they know what has happened there. And I think that is important, that people feel that it's a kind of a free zone where things can happen. Even if it is established, it still is a place where people think that extraordinary things can happen.